What up? What up? What up? What up? Hey, I said I was going to go live. And here we are. What's going on, you all? I said I was going to go live at 9 o'clock. I said I was going to come back and I was going to talk about and just take some of your questions and whatnot regarding this situation with building a case against Carlos. Now, I told you all, I'm not biased. You all think I'm biased. I'm not biased. I'm so far from it. It's not even crazy. Not even funny is what I meant to say. Not even funny. What's going on, y'all? Comment section. What's going on? Greetings and thank you. What's up? How are you? Let's see if the Facebook comments come up. Does it even have me as live? Because then I might have to take this down and does it have me live? Oh, it show me as live. Oh, it does show me as live. Okay. What up? You said who's Carlos? I don't see the Facebook. Do that. All right. I just on my face. Can y'all still hear me on Facebook? You know. Oh, you can't. Can you hear me? I see you, Sharita. Okay, I see you. I had to mute the Facebook thing so I can see the I see 27 people on Facebook, 41 total. What's going on, y'all? Hey, Brittany Nicole, what's going on? What's going on? So I had to launch it from my page. There you go, Brittany Nicole. Boys, Chrissy, what's going on? Okay. So you may not see me staring directly at the camera, right? You can hear me on YouTube. I'm trying to get some more people in here. So, what questions do you have? I can see that, so I don't have to go there. So I'm gonna go to my post. That's what I'm gonna do. I said, let's build a case against Carlos. Let's build a case against Carlos. Right? So, for those of you all who don't know, Carlos, I don't know his last name. Um, y'all can put his last name. What's going on, Alex? What's going on? Let's build a case against Carlos. So, uh, you are the prosecutor. Okay, read it directly from my post, and I'm going to read some of the comments, and we're going to have a conversation. So you are the prosecutor assigned to charge Carlos. I am your detective, and my team and I are ready to assist you. So let's build a case against Carlos for a moment. Okay, okay, type stuff. Okay, this isn't me blaming anybody. I'm simply asking people to look at Carlos's decisions. Recap those of you talking about the September 8th homicide of Romeca Meeks-Blackmon, where Khadijah Holly Johnson is charged with first-degree murder under Chapter 720 Illinois Compiled Statutes Act 5, Section 9-1. That is the statute that she is charged under. Okay. And there's some information that's out there, and I'm going to read directly from the proffer that I have. Okay. I don't know if, okay, more people are coming in. More people are coming in. I see you, Brittany Nicole. I'm going to put the comments up there. Just keep them coming. Keep them coming. Okay. So on September 8th, just before 8:30 a.m., witness one, who's Carl, drove his black Mercedes SUV from his home located on South State Street. I know the address, but I'm not going to say it. Okay. South State Street. Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Just before 8:30 a.m. Just before 8:30 a.m. Just before 8:30 a.m. Now, this is central to some facts, right? National Teachers Academy, 55 West Cermak, which is the school where Romeca and Carlos's son goes to. They start at 8 a.m. They start at 8 a.m. Okay. They start at 8 a.m. So that is, could y'all do me a favor? Could you hit the like button and hit the like or whatever on Facebook? That'll get more people in here, right? Because I do want to have a very robust conversation. And I'm going to drop the link for you all to come up and to have a conversation about this, right? That's why I did it through StreamYard. So that way we can go on ahead and have a conversation about that. Okay. On September 8th, 2025, just before 8:30 a.m., witness one drove his black Mercedes SUV from his home located on South State Street, 20 West Cermak. The defendant, Khadijah Holly Johnson, was seated in the front passenger seat, and the 6-month old child was in the rear in a removable car seat of the Mercedes. The defendant, Holly, was dressed in a black jacket with green leggings. Witness one, Carlos, double parked his Mercedes on westbound Cermak 2 car lengths in front of the defendant's black Chevy Cruze. The defendant and witness one then removed their child from the Mercedes and walked toward the defendant's Chevy and loaded the child into defendant's vehicle. At approximately the same time, the victim, who is Romeca, I got you. I got you. I'm just reading the proffer, okay? At approximately the same time, the victim drove her white Kia sedan to a school located at 55 West Cermak, which is National Teachers Academy. The victim was dressed in a light pink outfit. She dropped off her 6-year-old son at the school and then drove to where the defendant Chevy and and witness one's Mercedes were parked on Cermak. The victim double parked her Kia on Cermak behind witness one's Mercedes and got out while the defendant stood outside her car. Right? I was asking if y'all caught that. At the same time, witness two, who does not know any of the parties, drove past the victim, defendant, and witness one, observing the defendant and victim stand in the street arguing, but unable to hear exactly what was being said. He observed witness one standing in between the defendant and the victim. So Carlos standing in between the defendant and the victim with his arms extended, and then observed the defendant advance towards the victim, right? So this is Holly coming towards the victim, okay? As witness one held Holly, the defendant, back. Witness two observed witness one, that's Carlos, push the defendant, Holly, away from the victim while unarmed, stood stationary with her arms crossed across her chest. So people are saying that Carlos did nothing to Holly. That's not what witness two observed. Are we tracking so far? Just reading from the state's prop. Okay. Minutes later, witness three was on an eastbound bus that drove past the defendant and victim as they argued. She observed and bus video captured the victim, Meeks, and witness one, Carlos, standing in the open driver's door of the victim's white Kia. At the same time, witness four was walking eastbound on Cermak approaching State Street. We don't know which side of the street. That's what's not known. We don't know which side of the street. We don't know if they're on the north side or the south side. Okay. But walking eastbound approaching State Street. Witness three got off the bus and walked across Cermak and stood under the CTA Green Line stop near witness four. The Green Line stop is that way. So that's on the other side of State Street. It's a long way to be witnessing something. Yep. 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 It's a long way to be witnessing. Hold on. Let me throw something on the screen real quick. Oh, my little detective Spidey senses kind of senses something. Hold on. Give me the intersection. Let me see. 20 West Cermak. Y'all know I'm about to get the street Google view. There we go. Give me the street view. Bam. Okay. Yes, we can put this on the screen. So we're gonna go on ahead and put this on the screen. Now I'm about to get voice of nothing but the truth and reason. I might have got your name wrong. Don't get me mad. Voice of nothing but the truth and the reasons. Um, okay, there we go. Share this screen. Let me share this screen. And bam. Okay, so let's look at it. Bam. So this is the Green Line station right here. Let's turn it around. Turn around. Turn around. Sorry. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. This is the 2000 block, or not 2000, 20 West Cermak. That's 20 West Cermak. Y'all do me a favor, hit the like button, all that great stuff, please. More people in the conversation. This is 20 West Cermak right here. Okay. So, and this is the school over here in this area. So people are saying she was on school property. This is the school right here. So that's not school property. This is all school property onto the incident happened across the street in this area. So witness 4, this is the Green Line. How you witnessing stuff? How you witnessing stuff all the way over here? This is the Green Line stop. So from the Green Line stop to all the way over here. I'm not saying somebody right. I'm not saying somebody wrong. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Okay, you read from the proper again. Minutes later, witness 3 was on an eastbound bus that drove past the defendant and the victim as they argued. She observed, and bus video captured, the victim and witness 1 standing in the open driver's door area of victim's Kia at the same time. Witness 4 was walking eastbound on Cermak, approaching State. So let's recreate this. Go forward, fool. No, you don't want to go forward. Tell you what. Oh, there we go. Let's walk it. Let's walk it. There we go. So eastbound would be coming from here, walking this way, right? Walking this way. I'll answer your question. Walking this way. You said the school is close enough, and that's not really far, in my opinion. But here we go, Kendra Nicole. Respectfully, the jury is gonna see that that's not school property, right? You can say it's close enough, but that's not school property. It's a 4-lane roadway. That's the school, and this isn't even the school. That's the old site of, I want to say, the Ickes housing project that used to be up. So NTA, oh, wrong screen. NTA is over here. You see that big open field right here? That's not school. That's not school property. It's not even close, right? And then even if you go close to where the school is, right? That's the school. That's the school. And somebody said they witnessed something from over here. What did you witness from over here? What did you witness from over here? Now, I've angled the camera in the direction. This is the building. This is the building. This is the entrance to the school. That's door number 1. Now, that's not the only entrance, but that's the entrance, right? And then the walkway is over here next to the sign, right? The incident happened over in this area. That area right there, right? Let's go on ahead and zoom it up. There it is, right? So that's one walkway. Incident happened. Battle. You see all this brush, all this. Now, granted, it's not all these trees and stuff like that. It's winter. Well, no, September. The trees were still there. Trees were still there. This is September. So what you witnessing from right? So you're walking eastbound, right? Got off the bus and walked across Cermak and stood underneath the CTA green line stop near Witness 4. Underneath the green line stop near Witness 4. That's the green line stop. Okay. This is the bus stop right here. Do y'all see some defense issues that they're going to rate? Come on. I know y'all don't like me. I know y'all. I know. I already know. I know. Mike, who you working for? I'm just the detective. I'm just the detective. Witness 3 and Witness 4, who also don't know any of the parties involved, observed Witness 1 standing in between the defendant and the victim. From where? Come on now. See, it's a lot of people silent. See, it's a lot of I see it's a lot of people. You say you're not answering any questions. Well, you're not answering any questions either, Tyra. And I'm not trying to attack anybody. And I apologize if my tone sounds that way. I can hold myself accountable because I don't know the tone in which you are typing. So I apologize. I will hold myself accountable. I will hold myself accountable. Yeah, yeah, Craig, you get what I'm saying. I'm not saying you can't see, but the clarity of the site, right, will be raised in question. You said I'm making it seem like they were lying, like the lying. I'm sorry, let me read it right. Like I can read. You're making it seem like they were lying. The witnesses were very detailed. I'm just going off of the proffer and I'm showing you how the place looks. I'm not surprised. Right. I'm not surprised. How many of y'all see what I'm doing? I'm not taking a side. I'm just going according to what's on the proffer. Nothing in here said witness 4 walked towards here. Hold on. Here we go. Right? Let me get to my screen. I'm sorry. Nothing said witness 4 walked towards here. Now, some of you all said it was a stop between there, the green line, and hold on. Here we go. Jay said Caprice, right. Like, what would be the reason these people would be lying for? All right. Okay. You're right. Okay. What would be the reason they would be lying? I'm not saying they were lying. Did y'all ever hear me say, did you all ever hear me say someone was lying? Did you hear me say there would be some things called into question? That's it. I've never said anybody was lying. So there would be some things called into question. Now, some of y'all said it's a bus stop at what? State Street? Well, let's go. Let's find out if it's a bus stop at State Street. Okay. Because you all apparently know the area more than the people who live here. Antoinette Lewis, thank you. You said, read the statement again. I thought you mentioned the witness said they were on the bus. They were. They were. They said it. I'll read it again. Minutes later, witness 3 was on the eastbound bus that drove past the defendant and the victim as they argued. So that means they are in this area, the eastbound bus coming this way. I can see that. This is where the witness, I mean, not the witness, but this is where defendant, victim, and witness 1, Carlos, Holly, and Romeca are. The bus is traveling eastbound. I can see that. They get off. There is no bus stop here. The next bus stop under the green line. And that's what they said. She observed and bus video captured the victim and the witness standing in the open driver's door area of the victim's Kia. At the same time, witness 4 was walking east on Cermak, approaching State Street. Witness 3 got off the bus, walked across Cermak, and stood under the green line stop near witness 4. You said it's a bus stop in front of the school, but that's not. Thank you, Craig. Come on now. Details matter. Under the green line atop. Don't make up stuff. I'm only going according to what's on the proper. Come on. Green line stop. Here we go. So she got off at this bus stop. Y'all see that little bus stop right there? Y'all see that little sign? What is that? That is a bus stop right there. That's a bus stop. That's where she got off at and then did what? Walked across the street. Come on, across the street and waited. Here we go. And stood under the CTA green line stop near witness 4. Come on. I'm only reading. You can get the proper two and read it for yourself. Okay. Witness 3 and witness 4, who don't know any of the parties involved, observed witness 1 standing between the defendant and the victim. They observed victim walk towards the driver's door of the Kia, standing in the threshold of the driver's door, with witness 1 standing immediately outside the door. The defendant was standing on the sidewalk arguing with the victim. Okay. Witness 3, and I'm not saying Holly's right or wrong. I'm not saying Holly's right or wrong. I'm not saying Holly's right or wrong. I'm not saying Romeca is right or wrong. I'm just reading what's here, right? Here we go. The defendant was standing on the sidewalk arguing with the victim. Witness 3. Now, if you notice, the defendant is doing a lot of the arguing, right? After Romeca pulled up, right? Here we go. He said that bus goes down Cermak. There also is a stop. There's a stop at the school. There's a stop underneath the green line. We just pointed those out. There is no. That's okay. Let's go find out, Mike. Right. Let's go find out if there's another stop. Here we go. Because I just read from the prophet. We'll go find out if there's another stop. Because Mike, I think you're being biased. Mike, I think you have an agenda. You're being biased, Mike. Even though the prophet said, what did the prophet just say, Mike? What did the prophet just say? That is not a bus stop. That is a winter parking ban sign. I didn't get too far. That is a winter parking ban sign. There is no bus stop. That's a winter parking ban sign right there. There is no bus stop. I was just over there just yesterday. You know better than the one. Yeah, here we go. There's the bus stop, like you said, right by the school. There's a bus. Too far. Google. Come on. I'm trying to get it, y'all. Hold on. Yes, right there, right there, right there, right there. Right. That's the bus stop right there. Come on, fool. Like you said, right by the school. It's too far. This is crazy. But there's a bus stop right there by the school. See if I can push it just a little bit. Boy, okay, right there. There's the bus stop right by the school. There's the bus stop right by the school. Don't you know all bus stops? Come on, LaQuincy. Stop it, girl. Stop that. Stop that. Don't you know all bus stops don't have a sign? Stop it. Come on. Okay, then find a bus route. Former bus driver. Find the bus route. Find the bus route. Let's go. Y'all, why would y'all come on? All this stuff is online. All this stuff is online. Let's go. Here we go. Sir Mac. Come on. Why you want to do this? Come on. Okay. CTA bus. Schedule. Hello. Why y'all want to do this to me? Why y'all want to do this to me? This is the schedule brochure. Let's see what kind of stops they got. Eastbound. Where we at? Where we at? Eastbound. Okay. That's Sunday holiday. That's Saturday. Okay. Let's see. These are just green line. Come on. It was a fairy. Here we go. I got it. Hold on. Well, LaQuencia, we're not gonna do the ask AI goofy. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna. I haven't called you out your name not once. We're not gonna do. It. My block hands work really, really well. We're not. We're not gonna do that. No, 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 no. Bus stop or not. The bus driver knows the stops. LaQuencia, when we're wrong, right? If I'm wrong, I'm willing to be. Don't say my name, dude. Got it. Let me help you out. Let me send you on your journey. Let me send you on your journey. Like you say your final words. Say your final words. Just send you on your journey. Send you on your journey so I can just go and hit that block. Okay, no, don't get that block. Damn, because I'm not going to engage in any negativity. That's okay. There you go. Anybody else want to join the block list? Would anybody else? Because we in class right now. This is what I would do in class. Would anybody else like to join the block list? The disagreement don't get you the problem. Extra shit that gets you the problems. Does that make sense? Now you asked for the bus schedule. What did you get? You got the bus schedule. So let's go ahead and zoom on in. Okay. Y'all said it was a, here we go. Cermak Chinatown Red Line. This is the stop. What's the next stop after that? What's what's the what's the next stop after that? You can't see? You can't see. Can y'all see the can y'all see it? Okay. The next stop is Antoinette, don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. That's another way to get blocked. Get back to the problem. See? Masculine shit. Don't tell me what to do. You can request that I get back to the proper, but I'm teaching in class. Okay. Right. The next stop after that is the green line. Green line. Right. There is no stop in between. Just like Google showed, there's no stop in between. Right. No. She said she stood underneath the green line stop. See, that's not gonna happen. Hotness more. What do you mean that's not gonna happen? What are we talking about? Let me go on here and send you there. What you mean that's not gonna happen? Okay. There we go. Go ahead and give you that route. You said there's a stop? Yeah. Cermak, red line. That was the first stop that you saw by the school. The next stop is the green line stop. That's those are the only stops in between. There's not a stop in between. That's what she was arguing. There's not a stop in between. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Just how best to make that clear. Oh no, I agree with you, Hotness More. I agree. Yeah, there's not a stop on state. That's all you said. Isn't there a stop on state? No, there's not a stop on state. There's not a stop on state, not for the Cermak bus. That's all I'm telling y'all. That's all I'm telling you. That's all I was telling y'all. Okay. So let's get back to that tab right here we go. Let me get back to the proffer. Let's get back to the proffer. By way of proffer. Here we go. The defendant was standing on the sidewalk arguing with the victim. Okay. Witness three observed. Witness one, Carlos, strike the victim, Romeca, repeatedly by swinging the driver's door of the Kia closed on her. Witness three called 911 and reported that witness one struck the victim multiple times with the car door. Minutes later, we just said that. Okay. After the 911 call, the victim entered her car. So let me kind of get up to the scene here. Let me kind of push up close. Okay. There's you. We're still going eastbound on Cermak, eastbound on West Cermak. You do not see a bus stop in between there because there isn't one. Stop making up stuff. There isn't a bus stop. The next bus stop is the green line right here, like I said. Okay. And then she went across the street and waited under here. So for sure, if I were the defense attorney, That's going to be called into question. But let's get to the scene where it happened. Okay. This is about approximately the 20 West Cermak area because that building is 50. So this would be 20. All right. After the 911 call, the victim entered her car. After the 911 call, the victim entered her car. Okay. Witness 3 and witness 4 then observed the defendant approach the victim's car and heard the defendant making threats towards the victim. Holly doing dumb shit. Now, that's the category I'm going to give it. Here we go. Question that I have is, what were these threats? What were these threats? Cermak at Clark. That's the stop right by NTA. That's Clark. That's what that is. That street over there is Clark Street. It's the same stop I was pointing at. But that doesn't prove it. You said it's a bus stop on Cermak and State. All right. Okay. It's a bus stop on Cermak and State. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Got it. Even though the witness said they were underneath the green line station. So somehow, yeah, I got the recording of the, yeah. Yes, Chanel. I do have the recording of witness. I got the recording. I got the actual recording here of the interview, right? I'm only going according to the offer because what she said in the interview and what she told detectives can, in fact, be two different things. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, I got them on the IMAX. So when I do this, we about to have balloons and shit, right? Okay, two. So what she told the state and what she said on the interview can be two different things. Does that make sense? Okay, that's what I'm saying. So she could have said extra stuff on the interview that she didn't give the state. And so you all are taking the interview as evidence instead of what she told the state. Thank you, Craig. Come on, we talk. Craig, can I say what you do? I ain't gonna say it, but it may not be. But the operator could have let them off on his own accord. That happens. So where the stop is placed and where you get let off can be two different things. I'm a lifelong Chicagoan. I'm just saying. Yeah. And the man drives for CTA. So come on, man. I've been on. Come on. All right. Here we go. Witness 3 and witness 4 then observed the defendant approaching the victim's car and heard the defendant making threats towards the victim. I can tell you firsthand, having been a police officer and having had people come complain to me about these threats. We just had a conversation about this in my unarmed security class, right? 720 ILCS 5, section 12-2, which is assault, placing a person in reasonable apprehension of receiving a battery. If a person sits there, I'm gonna read the comments in a minute. If a person sits there, no, listen, Tab, just listen to me, okay? Listen. I'm gonna make sure I check my tone because I don't want to. I want your participation. I love that. So I'm gonna hold myself accountable and not attack you or anyone. Okay. You said the threats were heard by the witnesses. There was a lot of witnesses out there that was recording. We still have yet to see those threats. We still have yet to see those recordings. The only recording I see is post shooting. Does that make sense? Now, if somebody has an offer of proof, if somebody has an offer of proof that there are video, that there is video out there of these threats that were made. Yeah, this is streaming on YouTube, Aries, right? My YouTube page is Instructor Mike, right? I'm on YouTube as well, right? This is Instructor Mike. So if you have an offer of proof that says that they recorded the threats, which I'm surprised because people usually aren't witnessing without having their phone up. I'm surprised we don't have video. But if there's an offer of proof, please put that out there. Please. Right? Here we go. She then observed the victim exit her Kia. Not good. Not good. I mean, because I don't know what these threats were, right? Words could have been said, if you don't drive your ass off, I'm going to take your life. That could have been said. 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 Hold on, and I'm not disputing that. Nothing but the true voice of reason. Holly was out there sending threats. She got a past criminal history of disorderly conduct. She was out there yapping. She knew that. Pow pow. Got it. Here we go. But what I'm saying is, what were those threats? Come on now. What were those threats? Come on now. We're working with facts. Proof of the matter asserted. Do you have an offer of proof of the matters you are asserting? Because I can tell you, having been a police officer, having been the receiver of complaints, I've had people come to me and say, well, this person said if I did this, they were going to do that. And I had to educate them on that is not a threat. That is a conditional statement of a if then. If you do this, I will do this. It is predicate on you doing an act, by the way, which violates the criminal code, and then they would respond in kind. It's a warning. That is not a threat. A threat, as it relates to 720 ILCS Act 5, Section 12-2, is not a predicate threat. It is simply, I'm about to kick your, I'm about to up you up. That is I'm about to beat you. That is a direct threat. It has no conditional statement on the beginning of it. It's not a predicate threat. Does that make sense? That's okay. I'm just saying, does that make sense? Jay said, I'm going to shoot you was the threat. Where is the offer of proof? Okay, let's continue. Here we go. Let me get that off the screen. I want YouTube. Yeah, here we go. I heard it's a lot of people that have it recording and left their numbers, but when they were called, they never answered their phone. So there's an offer of proof that these were threats. Does that make sense? Where is the offer of proof that these, and I'm not taking anyone's side. How many of y'all understand what I'm doing? How many of y'all understand that I'm arguing this from a position of what a lawyer would likely ask? Where's the offer of proof? You're saying threats were said. She got no offer of proof. Right? This is a highly circumstantial case outside of the body, outside of the bullet, outside of the gun, outside of the defendant's statement that I did it in self-defense, right? Outside of the witness, Carlos, making statements. The whole proffer is still him. He's witness one, right? He's witness one. It's proof without proof, it's hearsay. Hold on. You said the judge already said witnesses are credible. Where did the judge say that, Tiffany? No, 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 no. You said that. Hold on. The threat could have been if you get in that car, I'm going to get in my car and run you over. I don't even know. I don't even know if that's if you get in that car, I'm going to get in my car and run you over. If they're both in the car, what are they running over? Does that does that make sense? I don't get it. But thank you for your comment, Todd, and I appreciate your comment. Here we go. Proof is what's going to make the case. Thank you. Here we go. You said, I understand the criminal justice system relies on what you can prove, but she popped Romeca from a distance. How can Holly argue that? No one's disputing that. No one's disputing that. It is not what's in dispute. There's an offer of proof of that matter that there is a body, there is a bullet, there is a gun, there is a ballistics match from the Illinois State Police Forensic Science Center from the firearms and tool marks section where they did a ballistic analysis of the bullet pulled from the decedent, which is Miss Romeca Meeks, and the gun that was taken from the scene where guys. There's a metallurgical match of the bullet and the casings and the gun. That's already an offer of proof. That's already in evidence. That's already in evidence. That is not in dispute. It's not in dispute at all. Okay. Here we go. I have confidence in the new state attorney's office. Both are cooked. It was premeditated. That's not how that works. But okay. I appreciate it. No, I appreciate your statement. That's not how that works. State's attorney's offices lose cases too. Was there any angle? Was there any angle, anything caught on a camera, maybe from a different building? Detectives are still after even after the charge. Detectives are still working the case. Hey, what's going on, Justice for All Children? You said she was shot more than once, even when the threat was being neutralized. She was being attacked. That's in evidence too. That's in evidence. That's in evidence too. All right, here we go. Let's finish with reading the proper. I'm gonna get to other comments too, guys. Okay, I'll get the other comments too. I promise to do. Okay, here we go. Again, this part of the live is to make the case against Carlos. We're making the case against Carlos. Okay, here we go. She observed the victim exit the Kia, and when she did, she observed witness one, Carlos, approach the victim from behind and place her in a chokehold with his right arm while striking her with his left. Witness four observed the victim unarmed with her hands in the air, trying to break free from one's grasp. Witness three heard the defendant make threats to shoot the victim and heard witness one tell the victim that the defendant had a gun. There you go. Your threats. Okay. The defendant then went to her vehicle, was observed by witness three retrieving a handgun and stand on the sidewalk. Okay. Goes to get the gun, stands on the sidewalk. Okay? The victim was able to break from witness one's hold, Carlos, and took steps away from the defendant, away from Holly, as observed by witness three. Witness three then observed the defendant point the handgun at the victim, walk towards the victim, and then fire multiple times at her, with the pause between the first shot and the subsequent shots. Witness four had just turned to walk away. He heard one gunshot. Witness four observed the victim unarmed with her hands in the air, trying to break free from witness one's grasp. Witness three heard the defendant. So I'm trying to figure out if you're seeing all this and you're witness four, when did you turn to walk away? When he heard one gunshot, a pause followed by two more gunshots. He looked towards the direction of the gunshot and observed the defendant holding a black handgun. Okay, I can see that. I can see that happening. I can see that happening. Yeah, I can see that happening. All right, I can see that happening. Okay, so I can see that happening. Yeah, I got questions, but I can still see that happening. Okay, you like it's all confusing. Oh my God. No, you said Carlos not gonna get charged. Silly Holly did all his dirty work. Yep, that's a thing. Okay. So let's look at some of the things in this case. Let's look at some of the things in this case. Okay. One, if we're going to charge Carlos, okay, let's look at the facts actually in the proffer. Here we go. This is a binary. Yes, I heard that. No, I didn't hear that. Or yes, it's not true. Yes, it's true. No, it's not true. Okay. Either way. Carlos brings Holly and their baby to the same area, that's a fair statement. Carlos brings Holly and their baby to the same area where Romeca drops off her child every weekday. Yes or no? Sign off in the comments. And you're correct, Tiffany. The bond judge won't be the judge who oversees the trial. They are never the same judge. Never the same judge. That's it. Rarely, if ever. Never the same judge. Yes, you heard that, Monica. Okay, so we have a yes from Monica. Okay, here we go. Carlos physically places his hands on Romeca. Okay, Carlos physically places his hands on Romeca. Hold on. Hold on. I got you, Brittany Nicole. I got you. Give me 1 minute. Okay. We're just going down the line of the fact pattern that's here. Okay. Tanya says yes. Okay. Carlos is seen pushing the car door on Romeca. Yes. Okay. We got that. It's another yes. Okay. Carlos forces Romeca into her own car. Well, thank you, Sharon, for pulling it all. I'm going to go down the line, right? Carlos forces Romeca into her own car. Now, you said, why was he doing that? To get her out of the scene, to get her away, right? Forced her in the car, okay? Here we go. Yeah, Rainier said Carlos stayed by that Sharks. Hope I said your name right. Raina. Why am I messing it up? Raina. Here we go. Carlos stayed by that Sharks. It do not be parking by his house. It makes sense why Holly was parked there. Yes. Okay. Here we go. So Carlos restrains her again when she exits a second time. We could call it a chokehold. We could call it anything else. But is a chokehold a restraint? Is a chokehold a restraint? And did he place it on her? Right? Did you hear that? Yes, it is. Monica, why did she exit the second time? I don't know. Let me not put a smile on my face because that's just the way I teach. Right? Here we go. Carlos is the only one physically involved at every escalation point prior to the shots being fired. I'll read that again. Carlos is the only one physically involved at every escalation point prior to the shots being fired. Yes, and Stacy hit her with the other hand. Yes. Now, Monica says, I heard Holly threaten Romeca when she got back in the car. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. That is correct. Okay. You said the people said you had her. Me, I ain't have no headlock, boy. I know what you mean, though. That he had her in a headlock and then she shot her, right? Now, you said, when did he move his car? I would argue that he probably moved his car before the paramedics got on scene. That's a great question, but I don't have any proof of that. That's a very great question. Very great question. Thank you for that, Aya. Hope I said that right. Forget all that. Wash. No, Jay. Hold on. We're talking about. I'm going to read your comment in a minute, Jay. Hold on. And let's not forget the alleged infamous fist bump. Yes. Thank you for that. She's taking Jones. Okay. Here we go. Keyword: Carlos was the one physically involved. So Romeca was not attacking Holly, physically attacking Holly. That will be used against Holly's claim of self-defense. Okay. You said we're not talking about he went home and changed his clothes and then came back to get the baby out of school. Well, yeah, you wouldn't want to come pick up the baby with your clothes from the crime scene. I don't know if that's right. Okay. I love that you all are commenting, please. Okay. And can we make a promise to each other to even disagree, but remain, I don't want to say respectful. You have the right to like and dislike what you feel, but can we exercise great manners? Can we do that? Can we make a plea to do that? You don't have to like me, but I want to have a robust conversation. Can we make a plea to do that? Okay. I will. And I will hold myself accountable if my tone gets out of whack with y'all, because we can be passionate about these things. Okay. Here we go. Decorum. Thank you. There you go, KB Mommy. Set me straight. Okay. Here we go. Because I assume Romeca stopped to speak with Carlos and Holly inserted herself. Okay. We can say that. We can say that. We can say that. We can say that. Okay. We can frame it as that. Okay. You said no minors in the room? Please. No. Okay. Here we go. Let me get to some of your comments. Monica Rainey. Yes, it seems like it. Unfortunately, she can't tell. So people are going to paint her as a baby mama who won't move on. Okay, that's a statement. That's a statement. Okay, I'll acknowledge that. Here we go. After Roe got out of her car the second time, what happened? After Roe got out of the car, okay, according to the witness, let's go back and read this proffer. Okay. After her 911 call, the victim entered her car. Witness 3 and witness 4 observed the defendant, Holly, approach the victim's car and heard the defendant making threats towards the victim. But these threats were not specified. I'm just adding that in there, okay? Witness 3 walked closer to the incident at this time. She then observed, I'm almost certain witness 3 was the Hispanic lady. She then observed the victim exit the Kia. Oh, I wish she would have driven off. Lord Jesus, please. And when she did, observed witness 1 approach the victim from behind and place her in a chokehold with his right arm while striking her with his left. Witness 4 observed the victim, unarmed, with her hands in the air, try to break free from witness 1's grasp. Witness 1 is Carlos. Witness 3 heard the defendant make threats to shoot the victim and heard witness 1 tell the victim that the defendant had a gun. The defendant then went to her vehicle and was observed by witness 3 retrieving a handgun, passenger side, and then stand on the sidewalk. The victim was able to break free from Carlos's hold and took steps away from the defendant, as observed by witness 3. Witness 3 then observed the defendant point her handgun at the victim, walk towards the victim, then fire multiple shots at her with a pause between the first shot and the subsequent shots. And witness 4 walks away, hears a shot, turns back around, sees the gun in defendant's hand, a black handgun in her right hand. Okay? Chanel, you said she thought she had it on her person. No, witnesses have her going to the car to go get it. Okay? Yeah, okay. So, here's the question. If you are the prosecutor, let's make the case against Carlos. So, here's something that someone said trying to make the case against Carlos. Can we focus on that now? Okay? Right? Craig, you already know. You already know, right? The fact that she went and got a gun will probably be considered premeditated, but going to the car, she had a chance to leave and didn't. I think that would be the ultimate guilty verdict. Okay, Chanel, yes. Again, this is about Carlos. So we're going to stick to Carlos. We're going to make the case against Carlos. Are you ready, team? Are you ready, team? Prosecutor team. Okay, you're the prosecutor. I'm the detective. I've got my investigative team in the other room. Okay, here we go. This is what someone said in trying to make the case against Carlos. All right. Give me 1 minute. Come on, boy. Let me restart this again. Because I already have all my notes and everything. Y'all been right. Y'all been saying a lot of stuff. Okay. Give me 1 minute. Hold on. Who are we again? You all are the prosecutors. You all are the prosecutors. Okay. You're the prosecutors. That's what you are. Okay. You're the prosecutors. Now, here's a point-by-point analysis. Okay. This is what one person said. If I'm the prosecutor, the case against Carlos is straightforward based solely on the proffered facts. 1, he initiated and escalated the entire encounter, bringing Holly and their child to a known hostile location shows awareness of a volatile situation. Do you agree with that? I'm going to repeat it again. Number 1, he initiated and escalated the entire encounter, bringing Holly and their child to a known hostile location shows awareness of a volatile situation. Raina said no. Chanel said disagree. Craig said yes. Angela Barksdale said yes. Stacy Clay said yes. Right? Nicole McClendon says no. Chanel says no. Brittany says no. I do not believe so. He lives over there. Right? Hold on. You said, why was Holly and him there? Now, Ariana, you already know you want me to play temperatures rising and your body's yearning. Oh, take me to a fantasy. Oh, oh, oh. Y'all know, your body is my playground. It was a trauma bonding session. Oh, oh, oh. Carlos was like, are you ready for my... And then, right, the baby was in that sleep. Baby only 6 months. So you know why. You know why they were there. Okay. All right. You said my audio going in and out? Probably because I was trying to sing and it just wasn't coming out. You get it. Raina said, nobody gonna tell me where to park. Holly had a whole baby with her. She was there to fight Romeca. She was leaving her baby daddy house, which she allowed to do. Marie, you know I'm silly. You already know. All right, so here we go. Number 2, he made the first. All right, no more 2 fingers now. Here we go. I'm going to let y'all argue. I'm not getting into that. Here we go. He made the first unlawful contact. Placing hands on Romeca without legal justification is battery. Do you agree with that? I'll say it again. He made the first unlawful contact. Placing hands on Romeca without legal justification is battery. Do you agree with that? I heard her baby daddy left her sleeping in her car. Okay, Monica says absolutely. Chanel says no. Okay. Lovely Ticey or TC says yes. Stacy said yes. He could have told Holly to stay at his house since he was double parked and her car was parked at the curb and had her baby with her. Well, okay. So here's what he could have done. He could have went to go get her car and bring the car back. Right? You see what I'm saying? Now, Chanel says, no, there is legal justification. Right? Okay, here we go. You said, no, I think because he knows Ro and has a history with her, he was trying to calm her down from crashing out. You said, no, he was trying to stop this from happening. Yes, thank you, KB Mommy. Share the live stream and smash that like button, please. And thank you. You said correct. Could have at least got him for that. Okay. All right. He shouldn't have put hands on Romeca at all. So let's go there. If he never would have put hands on Romeca at all, sign off in the comments. What do you think would have happened? No. What do you think would have happened? If he never would have put hands on Romeca, what do you think would have happened? No, I agree with you, Jay. Okay, there you go. Right, my husband would have did that. That's proper gentleman etiquette. Go get that girl's car. But we know he ain't a real man, so hey, okay, I'll acknowledge. Chanel said a fight. They would have been fighting. Holly and Romeca would have been fighting. Don't know who would have won. I don't know. Right? You said, oh, you're being nice. They would have continued their verbal disagreements. He has a history of abusing her. I don't know. I'm just, okay. Krista, there would have been a fight. Ariana, they would have fought. Well, he did. No, come on, Chanel. We're talking about answering the question asked, okay? They would have been fighting regardless. A fight and probably the same outcome because Holly's scary and not a fighter. Now, here we go, Monica. If Holly is scary and not a fighter, when you come to the scene, does it make sense to be prepared for everything? Yeah, I don't disagree, Tanya. Hope that's your name. I don't disagree. I think she would have whooped Holly's. You get it. You get it. Right? Romeca has a history of bullying and fighting people. Okay. Romeca would have tapped that ass and she wouldn't have gotten to that gun. Okay. They're okay. Tiffany tried to be nice. A verbal disagreement would have continued and a 911 call simple. Tiffany, you don't know Chicago girl. Chicago, they would have goddamn on that ass. You see what I'm saying? Come on. I think Holly would have made it to that car. I mean, after she got up off the ground. Ariana, you got an outstanding point. You know. You said Holly is a keyboard bully. Okay. Let's get to it. Here we go. Thank you for your comments. Here we go. Number 4, he restrained her again when she exited. It shows a continued pattern of physical control and escalation. Do you agree with that or do you disagree? I'll read it again. What's up, Shelton? Shelton said they would have been fighting and she would not have made it to that gun. I agree. I agree with that. You're something else, Tiffany. You said, here we go. Sharon Thomas says his restraint, especially forcing her into the car, elevated the conflict from verbal to physical. Okay, I'm going to say it again, Chanel. I'm sorry. Here we go. He restrained her again when she exited. Shows a continued pattern of physical control and escalation. Okay? So Holly and Carlos are on State Street. Hold on. Holly and Carlos on State Street in front of his house before Ro pulled up, or did they follow her? I'm confused. All right, so here we go. Let me go ahead and bring you to the big screen right over here. So let's actually go back. Let's turn back. All right. So I'm going to walk it through as though there we go. As though we're going according to what the bond proffer said. All right, so let me go back to the screen. Let's go over here. All right, so let's go over here. Good. So they're saying he lives somewhere in this area. Okay, somewhere in this area. Now, I'm going to read the bond proffer from the beginning. Not the whole thing, but just to give you some context. On September 8, 2025, just before 8:30 a.m., witness 1 drove his black Mercedes SUV from his home located on, what do you see that? South State Street. South State Street, okay? To the location of 20 West Cermak. Don't laugh at my Google skills. All right, here we go. We're approaching South West Cermak. This is the intersection of West Cermak and State Street. Okay. And then she's parked over here in this area. Okay. So we turn the corner and we are in this area. This is the area where it happened. Y'all got it? Okay. That's according to the proffer. The defendant was seated on the front passenger seat, and the 6-month-old child was in the rear in the removable car seat of the Mercedes. The defendant was dressed in a black jacket with green leggings. Witness 1 double parked his Mercedes on Cermak, 2 cars lengths in front of the defendant's black Chevy Cruze. The defendant and witness 1 then removed their child from the Mercedes and walked towards defendant's Chevy and loaded the child in defendant's vehicle. Approximately at the same time, victim drove her white Kia to a school located at 55 West Cermak. So let's go to 55 West Cermak. This is 55 West Cermak. Kind of there we go. So this is 55 West Cermak, National Teachers Academy. Hey, Jada, what's going on? National, I'm just looking at the comments. Sorry about that. National Teachers Academy, right? The victim was dressed in a light pink outfit. She dropped off her 6-year-old son at the school and then drove where the defendant's Chevy and witness one's Mercedes was parked on a Cermak. So in order to be able to do that, you got to go here, up this way. Now, at this point, past this barrier right here, you are now able to see westbound traffic. Thank you. I agree that too. Brittany Nicole, I agree that too. Here we go. She was late dropping off her kid, so I believe Carlos was trying to avoid running into her. Because the proffer has them starting just before 8:30 a.m. Class starts at National Training Teachers Academy at 8 a.m. I'm just going according to the proffered facts. I'm going according to the proffered facts, right? You said Desiree, so she pulled up on them? Yes, she did. She was the first one to pull up on them. Yes, she did. At this point, she's able to see. She's able to see. Here we go. Let's go to the big screen. Let's go to the big screen. So here we go. We're pulling up. And at this point, remember the incident happens in this area because this building is 50 West. So the incident happens in this area. So here we go. She goes into the turning lane and then she makes this U-turn onto right here. School started at 8 a.m. You see what I'm saying? School started at 8 a.m. So if school started at 8 a.m. and then he gets into his car at 8:30 and then sometime thereafter this incident takes place, does it look like he's intentionally trying to run into her or avoid her? Just looking at because they're not communicating. They're not communicating. I was late dropping Junior off. I was late dropping Junior off. You said, so can she? No, it does not. He was avoiding. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. It looks like he was trying to avoid her. They're not communicating. I was late dropping Junior off. After all, why would you communicate with your first baby mama if you just got through, your body is my playground? Hold on. You said she put it on Facebook. She was running late. How do we know he's watching her Facebook? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. Just asking questions. You said she had already asked if he could take son to school so she wouldn't be late. Well, he's not going to agree to that if he's, you see what I'm saying? If he waited till 8:30, it definitely sounds like avoiding. You see what I'm saying? Now, all the defense attorney has to do is get one juror to believe. Sounds like he was avoiding. Hold on. Mind your manners. She's taking Jones. My YouTube block is extremely strong. If you think the Facebook block is strong, the YouTube block is very strong. We're not going to say stop it. You have a right to disagree and state your point. We're not going to say stop it. And you're more than welcome to leave. Okay? He's trying to avoid because he don't want no drama. That's what that looks like. That's what that looks like. Okay? So let's make the case against Carlos. Let's make the case against Carlos. My YouTube channel is Instructor Mike. Okay? Kimberly Pope, I'm going to read your comment. It's not about me agreeing. I'm being fair. They both stalking her and they wanted her gone. So if, in fact, they were stalking her, Are you on time being late? If school starts at 8, you don't know how late she's going to be. So it would make sense to be there around 7:45. And if in fact they were stalking, why include the baby? No, Holly is not my family member. She is not. She is not. Right? He could have been trying to avoid her, but messages say he was headed to the gym. Holly is not my family member. Okay. Holly is not my family member. Nicole McClendon said, I doubt they were stalking her. It said Carlos pulled into the school parking lot and he was in his black Mercedes truck. Holly was in that truck with her baby. Why would they be at that school? Now, Stacy, you said it. What is the it that you're referring to? I love how you guys are handling yourself, even in your disagreements. I love that. Thank you very much. I love how you're handling yourself, right? You said my YouTube name is Instructor Mike, right? Okay, so since you think it's click, all right, I'm going to let you stay, Kimberly. That's fine. Moving on. You said it doesn't matter how late Romeca was. Holly should never interfere with Carlos and Romeca conversation or argument. She was wrong for walking to her car just to Romeca. Don't forget, Holly permitted the day before with her post on Facebook. You just got to start. Okay. Your point you have a point. Okay. You have a point. And I agree. You have a point. Holly should never interfere with Carlos and Romeca conversation or argument. I agree. But how realistic is that? I agree, Tab. I agree. You get no disagreement here. I love how we're conducting ourselves. I love it. Right? I agree, Tab. She's taking Jones. I'm going to send you on your way. I'm going to put you in a little timeout. Okay, I'm going to put you in a little timeout. Okay, put you in a little timeout. Okay. It's all about how you approach me. Does that make sense? Got it. Here we go. Tab, where you at? Okay. Here we go. Tamika Sanders, right? That girl was in fear of her life and her child's life, right? Yeah, I did. And that's fine. Here we go. That's what I'm saying. I'm not on his side. I'm not on nobody's side. I'm just trying to assume how everybody's speculating that he knew Roe was going to ride past them on State Street. I agree, Sam. I agree. Right? He simply could move like that every day. It should have to be avoiding everybody. Maybe that was their routine. I agree. She could have stayed in the car with her baby. Now, here we go. I love this comment, Regina. She could have stayed in the car with her baby. Let me ask you a question. In Chicago, staying in the car is a what? Come on now. You said, I don't like dude, but the evidence is just not there against him. I'm just saying, we're just having a conversation here. Antoinette, I love it. Here we go. I love how we're handling ourselves, right? Come on, Desiree, say that. Here we go. Staying in the car is what? Danger. Scary. Come on. Punk move. Okay. Staying in the car in Chicago is what? Is it a good idea or a bad idea? Sitting in the car in Chicago is a vulnerable setup. A vulnerable setup. Hey, you did tell me earlier, right? Here we go. You said it's smart? I don't know. Bad idea, right? I don't think Holly was in fear. My uncle his life was taken because a man was in fear, and that man literally didn't say anything to him. My uncle kept putting his hands on him. So fear of life, I'm just not understanding that. Now, here we go. Chanel asked the question, why is staying in the car a bad idea? Sound off in the comments. Why is staying staying in Chicago? Lord Jesus. Why is staying in the car a bad idea? You'd be a sitting duck. You'd be a sitting duck. Okay? Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Is there any information that shows that the white Kia, the victim's car, was searched? Jada, you said something correctly. It limits so much. You cannot move around. You can't move around. You're in a coffin. Here we go. Yes. So if she was so scared of Romeca, then why, of all those, okay, why all those I would never videos? Because scared people talk shit online. Scared people talk shit online. Here we go. You know it. All right, here we go. I want to say your name, but I don't know. Hold on. Fish bend over and stand upon your. I'm not reading all that. I'm not. Y'all read that. Here we go. There would have never been an argument or a conversation had they not been pulled up on. They were not in communication with each other. He didn't have her number, and she was done with him. What conversation needed to be had? If it was a conversation about why he didn't get his son, that could have been had at another time while Holly wasn't present. If I have an issue with my baby daddy and his other baby mama, I'm not going to pull up on them to see if I see them. Okay. I appreciate your perspective so much. I believe Romeca did not deserve this at all. And her baby, I agree. Thank you for opening the mind of facts versus feelings. I just love the way we are all talking in here and agreeing and disagreeing and asking objective questions. And we are holding ourselves, including myself, to a higher standard of having a conversation. I love you all for that. I love you all for that. Okay? Let's be clear. Carlos was probably stabbing. Oh, your body is my playground. Come on, let me lay you up now. Let me hit you like a tornado should. Oh. Are you ready for my man? No, you. Oh, okay, let me stop. Come on now. Come on, y'all. Don't do me. Don't do me. I can agree with that. Oh. Playing both sides. Romeca and Carlos had a history together. He was playing both. I'm just saying. Boy, you could be arguing 1 minute and don't they say that makeup? Y'all know what I'm talking about, boy. Look, y'all, come on, man. We're going to have a real conversation in here. You said I'm also a baby mother to a first baby mother. Yes, we all make mistakes. Yes, we wish she didn't stop. But Holly had choices. They actually both had choices. She could have walked away and called 911. So let me ask you a question. I love that you guys are saying call 911. I love that. Let me ask you a question. In the Black community, do we promote calling 911? Do we with the police like that? Do we got to have an honest conversation. Come on now, sound off in the comments. Do we promote call? Look at you, just this. I'm gonna call him in a minute. No, but I do. Come on. Yes. Do you know how long it take 911 on the south side of Chicago? Right, especially not in Chicago. No. You're not wrong, KB Mommy. You're not wrong. At the end of the day, Holly should have called 911, but do we promote calling? Shelton said no. Janelle said, we do now. We're getting tired. You see what I'm saying? It's always at the police till you need them. Yeah, what's up, Patai, my friend? He said calling 911 is lame amongst Negroes. You said no school police now. Won't have school police like that. They kind of got them out the school, right? Yes, I call 911, especially if my kids are in the car. I try to avoid conflict. But listen to the question I specifically asked you. In the Black community, what's going on, Jada? Do we promote calling 911 as a matter of habit? Not if you scared. Not if you buck wide up. If you buck wide up. If you, my lyrics might be off. My lyrics might be off. Okay, so let's make this case. Come on, prosecutors. Let's make this case. Hold on. Here we go. Prosecutor argument number one. I'm gonna put this in the comments. Here we go. Prosecutor argument number one. See if it'll come up on Facebook. I'm gonna post a comment. Bam. Here we go. He initiated the encounter by bringing the baby. He initiated the encounter by bringing Holly and the baby there. Right? But here's the defense response. Here's the defense response. Carlos didn't bring anyone to that location knowing Romeca would be there at that exact time. Can you see the defense attorney saying that? Can you see Carlos's defense attorney saying that? Can you see the defense attorney saying that? Carlos didn't bring anyone to that location knowing Romeca would be there at that exact time. Right? Here we go. Can you see the defense attorney saying the proffer itself shows Holly and Carlos arrived before 8:30. Romeca dropped her son off at school, then came back. There's no evidence that Carlos lured, called, summoned, or arranged a confrontation. Shelton says if he parked Holly's car there and he had their family night, woke up, got their things, took her to her car, and Mika late, dropping off their son, and spot Carlos' truck, where's the rest of your comment? You said, yes, that's why I can't be a prosecutor on this one. You said the man lived across the street. Yes. What the F they supposed to do when she pulled up on them? Right? It looks like he's trying to avoid. Here we go. Prosecutor argument number two. Okay, Mike. Okay. But he made unlawful contact first. Well, we can see the defense attorney said, actually, that's not what the proffer really says. The proffer actually says Romeca exited the car, approached, argued, and then Carlos reacted. That's reactive contact, not initiating unlawful contact. Yes, Sharon. I'm going to read your comment, Katie Mommy. Sharon says, defense could argue he was performing a standard responsibility, not deliberately creating a dangerous situation. Trying to find your, here we go. You said yes, because he knew that Romeca had just left the school per the crossing guard and the VP. He was at the school in the back before Ro dropped her son off. That doesn't, okay, let's play that out. Let's play that scenario out. You said he was in the back. Here we go. Let's go to the school. Let's go to the school. Who's viewing anything from this angle? Oh, that's the floor. Sorry, y'all. Who's viewing anything from this angle? It's September. The leaves ain't off yet. And as you can see in the upper right-hand corner, hold on, this is even a bigger clue. If you look in the upper right-hand corner, what date does that say? Oh, that's October 2024. I fucked up. Okay. I hold myself accountable. But y'all can see this is still about around the same time. Right. You see what I'm saying? So what are they viewing? What are they viewing from here? What is any of the school officials viewing from here? Y'all see any points of view? I could be wrong. Let me pan it out for you guys. What are they viewing from here? At what vantage point did they view anything? This is a pretty great distance. Let me get some different vantage points. Right. At the playground, that's where I saw this. Oh, what am I seeing from here? What am I seeing from here? If I'm on school property, what am I seeing from here? Okay. Let's go to the entrance of the walkway. Here we go. Thank you. Let's go to the entrance of the walkway by the bus stop, because they could be out here waiting to pick the kids up from school. So here's the entrance of the walkway. Let me get out just a little bit further. Right. Let's just say I'm in the middle of the street. What am I viewing from here? You really don't get a good, clear view of the scene till you get about round here, maybe from here. So if you're standing, now let's turn around and look at the school. Look at all that. What are you seeing? Nothing. You ain't seeing anything. So I'm wondering, and I got your comment, KB Mommy. At 9 a.m. when everybody going to school and work, right? So I'm just, see, you don't even know the story. She dropped her son off. KT0527. I said that already. I said that. I'm with you, Tate. And let's be, I'm not saying you're not being respectful. That's a valid comment. Okay. That's a valid comment. See, you don't even know the story. She dropped her son off. I said she dropped her son off. Tate, you got my attention. Put some more stuff in the comments so I can read some more of what you got to say. You got my attention. Okay. You said Romeca was in the area lying in wait. Now, I don't believe that part. I do not believe. Here we go. I do not believe Romeca was waiting for them to. I don't believe that. I do not believe that whatsoever. And here's the reason why I say I don't believe that that would be the case. Now, I'm going to get to your comment, Nicole Neal. You got a great comment, okay? Romeca would have had to have known that Holly was there. Remember, Romeca and Holly never met in person. Never met in person. I got you, David. Give me 1 minute. Never met in person. So Romeca may not have known what type of car Holly was driving. Right? So what would she be waiting on? Where would she be surveilling? Romeca was not, I refuse to believe Romeca was lying in wait. I refuse to believe that. What offer of proof? She knew Holly was there and Los posted, but Carlos was not parked there. Carlos was not parked there. Carlos was parked by his place. And she didn't know what type of car Holly had. So how did she know they were there? That's the offer of proof I would need to see to believe that. Here we go. Allegedly, a mutual friend told Romeca that Holly was in town However, I don't think Ro was waiting for them. Yeah, she might have been in town. You got to be in town to have sex or have a baby. You know, I mean, that's not true, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I don't believe that Romeca was lying. That's a hell of a stretch. That's a hell of a stretch. What I believe is, remember, Romeca had just dropped off her son or her son's lunch. Right? There was a post about that. Right? There was a post about that. This is what I believe happened, for whatever it's worth. I believe at this point, when she's driving, and remember, the incident happens in this area. She is known to make that U-turn to get on the expressway to go to work. And so, how many of you all can see the likelihood of her seeing them here? How many of you all can envision her getting into this left lane, looking at them saying, oh, no, you didn't? Because remember, according to the proffer, they were standing outside of the car after they put the baby in. Carlos was double parked. She's used to seeing his Mercedes, and so she's used to seeing that. Bam, I see them. I see the car. Oh, no, you didn't. All this time, you've been talking shit. I'm about to beat your ass. And then we get here. We make this U-turn. We pull up. We pop out. Does that sound more plausible? At this point, yes, that's what I think happened. Romeca's not going to wait around, because somebody said an interesting comment. Here we go. Romeca was on her way to work. Ain't nobody got time for non-working folks. She dropped her kid and his lunch off at the same time. They were late. Respectfully. If she had to be at work, y'all finish what I was about to say in the comments. Thank you, Sheldon. Come on. Thank you. Come on. So after the U-turn, why stop? Why not continue to go to work if you're late? If that was the case, you would have kept on going. Look, let's get to the expressway. Why can't it go to work? Come on, let's get to the expressway. Let's not pull up and pop off. Let's keep going. Here's the expressway, y'all. We're going to go underneath the viaduct, and then let's get on the express. Not in the Mike. Don't get hit by the bus. Mike, get over. What you doing? All right, let's get on the express. You playing around, Mike. Let's get on the expressway. All right, we about to get hit, apparently. Let's get on. Okay, let's not get hit. You see what I'm saying? Let's get on the expressway. There's the expressway right here. And then we could keep on going and keep on going. And if you're going to 55, you could go on ahead and get on the 55. Does that make sense? But that is not what occurred. That is not what occurred. What occurred is we didn't go to work. We stayed on scene, and we got into an argument with somebody who was a nobody to us, because we out here doing bigger. That's the red line. We out here doing bigger and better things. And I'm an amazing person and got a huge family. I love her family support system. It is just amazing. Y'all don't have to like me. That's fine. But I will always give thanks to that family support system, because family matters, right? Those of y'all know me. I'm a big proponent of family, right? And that's what it should have been the case. Should have been one of the things where we just gone ahead and go to work, and we don't think about, Kelvina, it's not about deserve. You said her job was on 34th in Indiana. She didn't have to go to the E-way to get to her job from there. Yeah. Yeah, oh, Romeca had to bob Holly upside her head. You all know who I am. What do scared folks with them things do? They do that. They do that. That's all I'm saying. And Romeca did not deserve to die. You would never get me to say deserve. But when you pull up and pop out, you got to be prepared for scary people to do scary things. Does that make sense? Just a cautionary tale. You're not wrong. You said if you're so scared, why argue? Well, you said even Carlos said they hadn't talked in 3 months, which means she didn't have to make a U-turn. Oh, Shelton, you have an interesting point. You have a very interesting point. A very interesting point. If her job was on 34th in Indiana, she didn't have to go to the E-way to get her job. If, in fact, that's the truth, you didn't have to make the U-turn. Well, I'm of the opinion, Tate, that nothing I say is going to make sense to you, and that's okay. Blessings to you. We're going to keep on moving on. Nothing I'm saying is going to make sense to you, so I don't know how to fix that. I just don't know how to, apparently. Start this back up again. There we go. Good. Can we move on? Ooh. Apparently I can't move on. Yes, I can. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Good. Jesus Christ, I couldn't move on for a minute. All right, there we go. All right. So let me get on to some more comments. Here we go. That's the way she went to work. Even her mom said so. Okay, you do understand that I'm just saying stuff, right? So here we go. Let's go to some more prosecutorial arguments, right? Let's go to some more prosecutorial arguments. Here we go. I'll get back to that screen in a minute, okay? We got to add this screen back. Come on, what other? Lord. No. Hold on, y'all. This is computers doing computer stuff. All right, there it is. Where's the other one? Boy, you just had all them doggone screens up here. There we go. Okay. That's it. It put it on another screen. All right, here we go. So here's another prosecutorial argument. Want to see if y'all agree. Here we go. Prosecutorial argument. He forced her into the vehicle, and this is kidnapping. There we go. He forced her into the vehicle. This was kidnapping, right? That's a prosecutorial argument. Do you all agree? That's true, Courtney. I agree with you. She was grown. Can't nobody make her stop but her. I agree. Right? Here we go. Prosecutorial argument. He forced her into a vehicle. Kidnapping. Some of y'all said potentially yes. Yes, Shelton. There we go. Defense can easily say not kidnapping when you're putting the person into the car to prevent BS. Here's what the defense would say. The elements of kidnapping, right? Here we go. We're getting to the headlock. I got it. Here we go. Getting to the elements of kidnapping. So, kidnapping requires intent to secretly confine or move without lawful authority and a substantial movement. Putting someone into their own vehicle isn't a fight. During a fight isn't kidnapping. Okay. The confinement prong is missing. It would never survive a Gerstein hearing. It would never survive probable cause standards. Tiffany Barfield said, absolutely not. You cannot kidnap someone by forcing them into their own vehicle. I don't know, Tiffany. I think that's a stretch. Well, depends on how you force them. But I get what you're saying. The gist of what you're saying is correct. Okay. You said yes, along with battery, unwanted physical contact, assault, placing another in reasonable apprehension of receiving a battery, false restraint, false imprisonment, restricting liberty without legal authority, reckless conduct, acts. Okay. I'm going to take your comment. Okay. I'm going to put it right there. Did I show it? I'm going to show it. Okay. Huh. You got a point behind your comment. Let's game that. She was able to hop right back out. That's a bad kidnapping job. It's a bad kidnapping job. Unlawful restraint. When a person is being restrained for aggression and preventing possible physical harm. Yes, free will to exit. Hold on. You said what is baffling to me is that he was able to restrain her for 18 minutes at one time, but in September 8th, he couldn't restrain her. Yeah, okay. Well, he did restrain her. He got her in the car. It worked. But then she was able to hop right back out. Okay. Now, after she got back out, here's another prosecutorial argument. You said we can all agree kidnapping is a non-starter. Okay, correct. Here we go. Here's another prosecutorial argument. He restrained her again, showing escalation. He put her in a headlock. Okay. Now, how do you think the defense is going to respond? How do you think defense is going to respond? Because here we go. If you're the prosecution, you have to plan for the defense arguments. Right? Every good defense, I think every good offense has a good defense, or every good defense has a good offense. Right? He restrained her again. It shows escalation. Shelton says de-escalation. You say, I say possibly no, because his intent could be perceived as trying to prevent harm. Did Romeca have any domestic violence charges against Carlos in the past? No, but Romeca had a domestic battery charge against her. Now, I don't know. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say no. Well, I appreciate your prayers. You said, I pray nothing like this happens to you. That's a projection. That sounds kind of emotional. That sounds kind of emotional. But I understand where you're coming from. Tate, you don't know me, so I get it. You have a right to feel the way you feel. I'll still let you be here. Thank you for expressing yourself. Okay. So here's this. The defense would say, you ready? Here we go. The defense would say, well, yeah, he restrained her. But why? Why did he restrain her? Well, defense argument. He was preventing Romeca from physically attacking Holly. Illinois law allows defense of others as a justification for physical restraint. Chapter 720, Illinois Compiled Statutes, Act 5, Section 7-1. Ariana, you got a point. He went on live talking about all the stuff she did, but do be lying, though. Come on, man. You get what I'm saying? You ain't wrong. Okay, I appreciate that. Hold on, did she say that, you all? Let me go back. Let me hold myself accountable. You're right. You're right. Thank you. I pray nothing like that happens to you all. This was a straight setup. You are right. Thank you for holding me accountable. Thank you for holding me accountable, KB Mommy. I appreciate that. Mike, don't do that. She said you all. It wasn't directed towards you, sir, respectfully. Thank you, KB Mommy. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. You're right. I apologize. Okay? I apologize. Look at our smart black folks showing out their intelligence. Yes, as long as we set the scene and set the stage for healthy disputation, we can have that. I love that. This is a great room. Here we go. Sharon Thomas says, Forcing her into the car and stopping her from getting out is unlawful restraint, and it could be charged as kidnapping, depending on the danger created once she tried to leave. And he physically kept her there. That's legal. No. He didn't keep her from leaving. Well, we're not talking about Holly. We're talking about Carlos. Oh, Ariana. Hold on, Missy. Hold on. Let's not talk about each other. Right. That's not exactly. You said, do you think he can be held liable for things prior to? Let's examine that. I got one more argument for y'all. Here we go. He contributed to the chain of events. I'm going to read the rest of y'all comments. He contributed to the chain of events. Now, we can agree, right? There's a lot of contribution. I would say the day before. I would say probably days before. I don't disagree. Like, there's some contribution, pimp. Maybe not on that day. Days before. Now, you got a great question. Here we go. Jay said, why didn't Carlos go get the gun? He should have beat Holly to it. Yeah, hey. That's a valid point. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It says, Chantel, your comments on point. Let me go back to Chantel's comments. Hold on. Chantel. If he stated Holly have a gun, why continue to restrain her? She couldn't run off if she wanted to. That's fair. That's fair, Chantel. That's very fair. That is very fair. He could have said, baby mama, run down Clark while I get Holly. Come on now. Could he have done that? He could have said, baby mama, you know I was going to say something. I don't want the family being mad at me. Right? But baby mama, go run down Clark. I'm going to hold off Holly. Babe, don't. We had a baby and you pregnant with the little. Babe, don't do that. Babe, she running. Babe, we're not at the fist pump yet. His favorite. Babe, don't do that. We got Lil, what's the baby name? Lil Halisha. I don't know what the baby name is. Lil Halisha in the back. I got you, Tiffany. Hold on. Lil Halisha in the back seat. Babe, don't do Tiffany. Hold on. We already there. We in it. He instigated. Babe, we got a little Halisha in the back. Look, go run. Go on Clark Street. Babe. Tiffany want men to do a lot more than. Yeah, we got a little Halisha. Babe. No, babe, no. Don't do that. Out of your first baby mama. I'm about to do that thing. Babe. Babe. I love you. I got to shit. Babe, stop. She gone. But stop. No, babe. Think about us. You, she darker. We on the same light-skinned team. I'm not making light of this. Y'all understand what babe, we got Halisha. He could have did that. But he didn't. Right? He could have did that. Hold on, y'all. Y'all stop fighting in the comments now. Stop fighting in the comments, y'all. Okay. So here we go. He contributed to the check. You say he dark. I'm not okay. But if Carlos wasn't with Holly, some of y'all would have went. Some of y'all would have went. Y'all like, he ain't even my type. Patai, you know, hey, if they ain't never heard Holly, if they ain't never heard of Holly, Carlos probably could have pulled some of y'all. Y'all buff and shit. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I had to get the reaction out the ladies. Oh, okay. I get it, Carter. I get it. I get it. You said Holly will be charged with first degree. Here's what I will say. The restraining order plus going to the car to retrieve the firearm actually strengthens the state's case. If Holly had enough time to walk away, reach her car, unlock it, open it, retrieve a firearm, return to the scene, then fire, a prosecutor will argue she had time to reflect, she had time to cool off, she had time to choose not to return, and she chose to escalate deadly force anyway. Yeah, but I think there's a point you might be missing. I think there's a point you might be missing. And the point you might be missing is she got put in the car first. Does that make sense? She got put in the car first. She got put in the car first. Does that make sense? No, you good, Kendra. You ain't saying nothing wrong. You got put in that's the point was Holly was minding her own business. Does that make sense? Now I wouldn't disagree with that. I would not disagree with that at all. I know Holly told that man, if she run up on me, I'm popping her. As soon as he saw Romeca, he should have been focused on that gun. Yeah, I could go there. We could agree with that. 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 You said Romeca was minding her and Carlos' business. Well, look, yeah. Does that make sense? Why did Holly need to fight in the street or run from this lady? That's a valid question. It's a very valid question, right? I'm trying to get to your comment. Uh, why can't I see your comment? I'm just pulling them. I'm trying to get to your comment. I can't even see it. I don't know why I can't see it. You said once she got back to the car, Holly went back and knocked on the window and started arguing. Yes, that was wrong. You said with Romeca to get out the car and come back to the car. You see, you're skipping over something, Nisha. Once she got back into the car, forcefully, Holly went back and knocked on the window and started arguing with Romeca again to get her to come back out of the car. You forgot to interject between that and she got out of the car. That's when Carlos put her in the headlock after she got out in the car. I agree, Felicia. You get nothing from me, right? You get nothing from me. Yes, Prissy, I had to hold myself accountable. I'm gonna read your comment. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. And I'm gonna hold myself accountable because I believe I'm right. I used to aggressively, and if I'm being honest, disrespectfully attack people I didn't agree with. I gotta hold myself accountable. 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 So I had to learn how to let people have the opinion that I don't agree with and check my tone. I had to agree with that. I had to hold myself accountable for that. So yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. Yep. You're right. Okay. All right. Here we go. That's what Prissy Chrissy was saying. Your response to others has changed drastically. You have so much patience now. Wow, this is all. Yeah, I gotta hold myself accountable for that. Now you said, Mike, will the case follow through with the conviction? I'm gonna read the rest of y'all comments. Here we go. Would the case follow through with a conviction if those witnesses don't testify to their statements? Just curious. Um, it's it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really tough. It's gonna be real tough. You need those witnesses to testify to what they saw. But here's this: Holly did not say she did not shoot. Holly said she shot, and she claimed on scene, on video, self defense. And she said, I got, sound off in the comments. What did she say? I got what? Come on, sound off in the comments. Y'all sound off in the comments. What did she say? I got, right? She said, I got, come on, I'm trying to wait for the first comment to come up. I'm trying to wait for the first comment to come up. Don't disappoint me, y'all, in the comments. What did she say in the video? I got concealed to carry. I got concealed to carry, right? I got concealed to carry. I got a license to. There we go, Tamika. I was waiting for the exact words. Where Tamika stuff at? Tamika said, I got concealed to carry. Hey, Tamika, I got concealed to carry. Anybody who's ever been in my class, you don't say shit. Come on now. What do I tell y'all to say? Right? Here we go. I'm going to write it in the comments. I spelled it wrong. Did I spell it wrong? Of course I spelled it wrong. I'm typing fast. Hold on. All right. This is what I tell people to say. Bow. I'm going to put it on the screen. Bow. I'm the victim of a crime. I was forced to defend myself. I need medical attention. I want a lawyer. That's it. That's it. That's it. I was the victim of a crime. No. Here we go. Your instructor said, don't say anything and ask to go to a hospital and speak with an attorney. Okay. I give you that. 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 Right? Now, some of y'all is like, I'm not going to say anything at all. Oh, no. Salinas versus Texas. Your silence can be used as an indication of guilt against you. Tab Rita said she had a CCL, but she carried her straight to jail. Tamika said that's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing, right? CCL, you let your lawyer speak and you go to the hospital because you're fearful and the victim. Yes, her concealed carry license is legit. She does have a legitimate concealed carry license and FOID card out of the state of Illinois. You said Holly didn't get that lesson or she forgot. That's because she had a family member. Why y'all think I was Holly's cousin? Y'all that's what y'all get for listening to other people. Anybody who's ever been in my class, do I teach the class? Set off in the comments about your experience about having been in my class. The class is funny. I got a drill instructor moment that I'm saying when I got to be a drill instructor, right? Y'all know I'm an asshole when I need to be. Let you try to tell me. Let you try to tell me. Let you try to argue me down about how you gonna shoot somebody. Y'all already know I will hold a whole argument in front of class with you about why you want to do that. My class is an experience, and no two classes are the same. because people bring different things to the class that make it more robust. Yeah, Lamar, what's up, man? I recognize your name. Lamar, fun, funny, and motivational. I've been twice. Like, you see what I'm saying? So that's why it's important for you to go to an instructor who really knows what they're talking about because these are the moments. These are the moments under the influence of stress. Come on, Tamika, one of my favorite students. These are the moments, the stress moments, where you really need to know what you're doing. Come on, Patai, you know me. Look, they went to a dude who could make you a celebrity overnight. Dun, 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 na, 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 na. Dun, 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 na, 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 na. Dun, dun. Make you a celebrity overnight. Boom. Nah, nah, y'all like going to entertainers and rapping ass. Y'all like going to entertainment and rapping ass. That's who y'all like going to for your concealed carry legal instruction. Y'all like going to on phone them concealed carry. Y'all don't like going to a former police officer, former arrested, right? Former, right? Here we go. Current criminal justice professor, right? Concealed carry license been revoked and reinstated. So everything you could possibly go through, been through about most of it. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to like me. But there's a reason why I got a name. I, I actually know what I'm talking about. Like, I ain't the only one, but my name is there for a reason. But y'all want to go to a y'all go to somebody who do lashes, taxes, pussy waxes, ass waxes, and classes. Y'all want to go to somebody who so the law say 720 IOCS Act 5, Section 7-1. And once personal defense, a person is justified in the use of force against another when and to the extent that he reasonably believes that such conduct is necessary to defend himself or another against such other's imminent use of unlawful force. However, he is justified in the use of force which is intended or likely to cause imminent death or great bodily harm only if he reasonably believes such force is necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm to himself or to another, or to prevent the commission of a forcible felony. Right? So what that means that you can't do that. You can't shoot just cause. All right? Do y'all understand? All right. All right. But I know you want to shoot, but the law, you see what that say. The law say you can't do that. Okay? All right. All right. That's who y'all want to go to. Y'all don't want to go to somebody who know it all. Y'all don't want to go to somebody who's fought a case and y'all don't want to go to somebody who. And that's the thing, nothing but the truth, voice of reason. Holly maybe never sat through a class. She didn't get her CCL by default, but you do have instructors that, hey, if you throw me that. I I know you good. You pretty as shit. You ain't gonna do. Come on, Shelton. Come on, say it. It's CCL instructors out here that's charging people with a Floyd 250 to sign off on papers for their CCL with no classes attended. Just pay your fees and receive your CCL. And that's a fact, not opinion. I'm telling you. I'm reading the comments. I see what you said, pretty little butterfly 0622. What you say? What you say? Say it again inside. You got my attention. I'm sorry. You got my attention. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Make you a celebrity overnight. I'm not. No. I'm not. I ain't say that, Chantel. I ain't say that. I ain't got. Well, now you got to repeat again. There's too many comments. Right? You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, just because a person can repeat a PowerPoint slide, even if they've taught it so many times to the point where they remember it off the top of their head, what's their experience to where they can reach you where you live? My classes are never about me. My classes are about you, your home, your lived experience, your arguments with your baby mama, your arguments with your baby daddy, your adverse childhood experiences, your childhood trauma, your stuff that you go through. That's what my classes are about. You're gonna walk in thinking you're gonna do one thing and you're gonna come out with the certificate and then be ready to change your environment. You gotta change your environment. You said I'm wishy-washy? That's fair, I guess. I don't know what that means. I'm not picking a side, so I'm supposed to be wishy-washy, right? If your washing machine only washed one side of your clothes, are your clothes clean? Holly emotions got in the way of this situation. Yep. You low key teach us to avoid problematic situations, not walk or insert yourself in them. You like that to me? Why you? I'm wishy washy. I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to. That's what arguing both sides. Yeah, I got you. What's your question, Latara? Hope I said that, Latira. What's up, Ben? Yeah, I teach you all to avoid these situations. Ariana, you'd have been in my class before. I recognize some names. How many of y'all, you said facts only from my CCO class? I hear you. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm supposed to be wishy-washy. I'm not supposed to take any one person's side. I argue from both sides. I can't even get over the kickback or the sound of shooting. I need a therapist to take the class with me. You ready? I'm here. I'm not a therapist, but I'm a therapeutic educator. There's times, Ebony Nicole, there's times I've had people cry on my range while they were shooting. I remember one time, this person, I said, get ready, stand by, ready on the left is ready, ready on the right's ready. Through your rear sight, at your front sight, center of mass, on your right. Pop, 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 pop. That person just kept shooting fast. That person just kept shooting fast. And they were shooting in the same direction. Now, normally you're not supposed to do that, but we're in a closed course. Come on, Ariana. Come on, Ariana. That person kept shooting fast. And what I say, I let him do it. I let him do it. And after he was done, I said, how do you feel? He was like, I had to get it out. It just reminded me of my friend who lost their life. And I just needed to get that out. And I'm glad that you let me do that because this is keeping me from going out there doing something stupid. And he started crying. And I'm in front of him. The firearm is in his chest right here. It's locked to the rear. The slide is locked to the rear. He's crying. Y'all just don't understand. My class is, I'm not saying anybody else's isn't, but my class is therapy. Don't play with my shit. He needed that. He needed that. I've had ladies come in my class, victims of domestic violence, come through my class, got their certificates, and their lives have been changed. You really have to be there to experience it. You can't fuck around when it come down who you go to as your instructor. You can't fuck. You can't fuck around on this. You can't. All right, y'all. I done had a job for 2 hours. I said I was gonna go live at 7. It's 9 o'clock. It's time for me to go to sleep. Let me ask you a question. Answer your question. I told you to ask it and I didn't answer it. My question is: they give out gun locks for free? Yeah, they do that at the police station. No, no, you're fine, Kira. You're fine. That's right, Kira. Hey, Alonzo, you're right. I give a lot of training with my video. Yeah. You said Holly got her CCO for Romeca. Trust and believe it. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I don't know how long she had it, but I know she has it. I don't doubt it. But God knows our hearts, and her heart fears evil. You have a right to believe that. I don't. I have nothing to say it is or isn't. Right. I'm not God. I just feel He didn't allow it to go her way because it was planted from an evil place. Well, let me tell you this. Self-defense claim is being mounted, and she could. You said I've been watching you since someone else tagged you. Yeah, she could. It's a chance she could get off. It's a chance she could get second degree. It's a chance she could be convicted. It just depends on the jury. 9 times out of 10, this. Hey, I appreciate that, Lewis. You said, so are we charging Carlos or no? Brittany Nicole said, don't you hit it without. Okay, so let me ask y'all this. Ladies and gentlemen of the prosecution, are we charging Carlos? Are we charging Carlos? And what are you charging him with? Are we charging Carlos? And what are you charging Carlos with? Because remember, he contributed to the chain of events. Let me do his favorite. It is a chance she could walk. Hey, Jada, I forgot you were here. I'm so sorry. I didn't say that. But hey, here we go. It's a chance she could walk. When we're talking about he contributed to a chain of events, here we go. Contribution is the same as legal causation. For causation, the state must prove that Carlos's actions were the proximate cause of death, not merely part of the environment where it happened. Here we go. Causation. It has to be the proximate cause, not merely part of the environment where it happened. Okay. I'm just saying. Proximate cause here. The firing of a firearm by a third person. That breaks the causation. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Not guilty. That evidence is not there. He did not know she was going to take her life. Witnesses show him both holding both parties back. Well, you got a point, Janelle. You got a point. How does the order of protection read? Does it say no unlawful contact? The chokehold is unlawful, which he could be charged with. Okay. Keep him coming. Because if Carlos has an order of protection against him, but here we go. If Carlos has an order of protection against him, you said he going to jail too? I don't think so. You know why I don't think so? She violated the order. She violated the order. If you got an order against him and then you go approach him, come on now. Come on, sign off in the comments. I'm just saying. You said he's but see, y'all wanna go past, y'all wanna go past that. Y'all wanna go past that. You can't go past that when it's material to you. It is a sad situation. Now, Illinois law still allows you to be able to defend yourself even if an order of protection is in place. Illinois law still allows you to defend someone else even if there is an order of protection against. Yes, Nisha. He's not going to jail because he was trying to somewhat, that's fair, Nisha. He was trying to somewhat stop the fight. Now, if they subpoena phone records, I'd like to see that. All right, y'all. You said he rung the. Well, I don't know, Tab. I don't know. I don't know. You said you Romeca have the order of protection on Carlos. I don't know. This is what they're saying. I don't know. Y'all know we started, y'all. I'm go sleep. All right. So the majority of you all said, I'm going back up to look at it. The majority of you all said, really not charging Carlos. The evidence just what? Why is Mike one? He said my instructor was Michael Waller, currently wanted by the ATF. I don't need to know. I don't need to know. I don't need to know. I don't even need to know. Wow. He said Romeca didn't have a restraining order against Carlos. Her mother made that very clearly in her interview. Romeca didn't believe in keeping a child away from their father. Okay, Lenny, thank you very much for that. You said he's not her father. She's not his child. If he would have knocked her ass out, y'all would still be saying, yeah, hey, you got a point. You got a point. Hey, you're not wrong. You got a point. 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 You said you don't acknowledge Holly didn't drive herself to her car. She was driven to the car. Holly only got in the car to put the baby in the car. Little Halisha. We don't know the baby's name. Little Halisha. Little little Harlos. Carlos. I don't know the baby's name. Yeah. I swear, Carlos, damn if you do, damn if you don't. His name is Carl. Oh, okay. All right. I'm giving the baby a name. I'm sorry, man. Don't get mad at me. I didn't know the baby's name. Carson. Okay. That's a nice name. That's a very nice name. Okay, I got it, baby. Okay, I got it. I got it. I thought it was a girl. It's Holly. That might be a great name. But Carson is a great name. I like that name. Carson. Y'all do know these are two moms who are not going to be there for their children. Chantel said, "Okay, good night, my everybody. My head is spinning. We've been trying to charge these folks for 2 weeks now. Tell the lawyers and attorneys because I would have been gave up." I wonder if Carson death from all of that. No, well, probably not. Probably not. Probably Mike Brown Jr. You something else, Kira. You something else, Mike Brown Jr. Oh, my son is not a junior. Mm-mm. So I don't know why we getting somebody goof ass. No, no, no. That was a valid Amanda. That was a valid question. Y'all stop fighting. That was a valid question. Oh no, he wouldn't have been deaf from all that. No, 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 no. Nothing but the true voice of reason is thinking that the baby was outside. Baby was inside the car. So the concussive force from that shot being fired outside the table is not bouncing off of anything. So it wouldn't go inside of the car. That's a valid question. Nothing but the truth. That's a valid. Yeah, I said your name, Kira. Yeah, yeah. That's a valid question. It's a very valid question. Yeah, it wouldn't have damaged the baby's hearing. Baby could have been in the car asleep. She could have turned on Baby Bop Jam. We don't know if the car was. We don't know. Y'all stop fighting. Y'all stop fighting. Amanda, y'all stop fighting each other. Y'all stop fighting each other. Stop that. Don't leave it in my comments, please. Stop fighting each other, please. Try to keep this as a nice room. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to go to sleep? Y'all ready to go to sleep? Don't none of y'all go do nothing at 8:30 tomorrow morning. It's a bad time from now on. 8:30 tomorrow morning. Everybody take a nothing 8:30. And don't be on 20 West. All right. Okay. Y'all go to sleep. Have a great. Thank you for coming in on the stream. All that great stuff. You say you gonna come? Okay. Phone's right here. I'm ready to talk. Don't all y'all blow my phone up at the same time. Y'all all got my number. Everybody named Mama. Oh, y'all have a good night. You know we gonna talk. Y'all send me an inbox on Facebook. Okay, Brown Mike. What else should I talk about regarding this? Because there's a lot of lessons that can. Now this case is probably not going to trial for years. Okay, balloons. The case is not going to trial for probably another 2 years, another 2 to 3 years, right? And so I like using this because there's more to learn. If Carlos paid you with that scam money blink, what does that even mean? What time can come you want to leave? Who? Oh, what's up, Keys? Oh no, no, I didn't know Keys. Hey Keys, what's up, man? Hold on. That baby witnessed his mama catch a body. Um, no, that's not what's it. And the thing is, I know you've been saying things about me, and I know you've been saying things about me. That's fine. That's free advertisement for me. I'm not gonna have a dispute with you. I don't from what I've been watching and your stuff, you've been saying great things. So I don't have an issue with you. That's why if I really had an issue, I'd just watch you and just the stream was about to end in a minute, right? He said I got paid by Carlos. Paid what? Yeah, he's gonna came in earlier. We were having a great conversation. Yeah. So please, what's your questions that you have about me? You said he because he know I don't be lying. I mean, yes, I know of your content. And you've been advocating. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You advocating. I don't have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with you either. Somebody said that they sent me a screenshot of you looking at my Facebook profile. Have fun. I've been when this thing first came out, Keys. I hope you're still here. When this thing first came out, oh man, I was on Holly. I was on Holly's ass. I was on Holly's ass because what is the first first thing I said, going to the car and getting the gun was dumb. That was some dumb shit. If you had enough time to be able to do that, you should have left. I said that. I said that. That's yeah. You said he was the one that was paid. He was advocating for Holly first. You said I'm fucking up Key's money. Yeah, I'm just saying Key want a Facebook check. Yeah, and maybe I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. You said I I don't even know what that means. I don't got a problem with you. I just don't like how you was trying to say Los don't get no blame. That's not true. I never said Los don't get no blame. Keys. I never said Los don't get no blame. Y'all sign up in the comments. If y'all been watching this entire time, did I say Los don't get any blame? No, no. Keys came in. I want to have a conversation with him. Some people be trying to run from smoke. I don't. This is a conversation we having. The rest of y'all, if y'all got to go, y'all can have a great night. Yeah, I never said Carlos is without blame. Yeah, I never said Carlos is without blame. I never said that. Carlos definitely had a part to play in it. He probably was fucking both of them real good, and that probably telling one. Well, no, he is less likely to go to jail. He is. He's less likely. I didn't say he's not. Did I say he's not? Let me hold myself accountable. I said he's less, and I laid it out. Case law, statutory law. Yeah, I said he's less likely. Yeah, Sharon. That's all I've been doing is coming from all angles. I laid a case for why Holly would be charged with second degree. I laid a case for why Holly would be charged with first. I gave case law. I said at the beginning, Holly, what I said in the beginning, that Holly was wrong. I said Romeca should not have pulled up, right? So I've been equal in my distribution. I've been equal in my distribution about all of this. I've been very equal in my distribution. And you said, so a five-time felon can ride in the car with a weapon. Yeah, if he doesn't know that the weapon is there. Then once he said she got a gun, then we have a problem. So if in fact he is known and they can prove that then they would have something to charge him. You see what I'm saying? But then you have to prove the knowing part. Yeah, you gotta prove the knowing part. You said I gotta be honest. He do all perspectives, even though I don't like when he talking that Holly shit. But I think it's just all POCs. I don't know what that means. Point of clarifications. I don't know what that means. Yeah. He knew because he said she had a gun. Yeah. Okay. So if that's the case, then he gets charged. He gets charged. Now let me ask you this, Keys. You said he's five-time a felon. What are the five felony charges that you know he was in fact convicted of? Valid question. Valid question. Valid question. What are the five charges that you know he has a conviction of? I'm glad you're here, bro. That's okay, Jay. You're good. You said, how wouldn't he have known the weapon was there? So she had a weapon in his house all weekend and he ain't know. Keith, I'm asking you a valid question. What are the five charges that he actually has a felony conviction of? He been locked up for pistols and Ike Turner-ish. Keys, you're not gonna like this. You're not gonna like this. But here we go. You're not gonna like this, Keys. You know who else was locked up for domestic battery? I'm not saying he's a clean person, Keys. You see what I'm saying? So you're not giving me any charges where he was. I'm saying it's all you got to do is go to all you got to do is go to the Chicago police website and look up the name, and then you'll see the. Let's do that. Let's do that. Well, I don't know his last name. Smith or something like that. Well, I be telling y'all to expunge your records. If you've been arrested and you have not been convicted, you need to expunge your records. You need to expunge your record. If you've been arrested, I'm telling you, if you've been arrested, but you haven't been convicted, if you've been arrested, I'm just saying, Keys, I'm trying to do research. Chrissy, you said, well, guess we're not going to bed soon. Yes, we're not going to bed soon. I'm going to bed in a minute, Prissy. I'm trying to look for Carlos. I'm gonna share it in a minute. What's his last? Let me see. That's a. It's gonna give me a lot of stuff. Oh, okay. No, I got it. I got it, Keys. Hang tight. I got it. I got it. Now, buddy ass. But it don't give me the. It don't give me the disposition. And I do expungements, Keys. I do expunge. I do expungements. I don't understand why all of this is a joke to you. Tiffany, go to sleep. Tiffany, just go to sleep. I mean, if you don't like my page, I'm not going to argue with you. I don't want to block you. It's not a joke. If you don't understand why I'm making the facial reactions that I'm making, it sounds like you have an issue. That's fine. You have the right to have that issue. I just want to have a peaceful space. I want to have a peaceful space where we can. That's it. You're not my enemy. I'm not. No, I'm not blocking Keys. Why would I block Keys? Keys has not been disrespectful. I've been, and first of all, you can't disrespect because it takes a lot for me to be offended, right? If you're going to talk about these things, you got to take certain criticisms that come with it. Okay, Tiff, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry too. I'm sorry. I want to call. I'm Tiff. You ain't even. Why would I block Keys? No, Keys has not been. Keys ain't been disrespectful. Mm-mm. Why would I block him? He ain't been disrespectful to me. He's asking. He's saying stuff. And if you look up his name in the dictionary, it's gonna say all he do is lie. Why? That's his opinion. Why would I block him over his opinion? You have a why do I have a picture of Nina? Who? Where? What are you talking about? I'm not blocking nobody. I got a picture of Nina. Who are you talking about? Stop with that shit. All right. Why do you have a picture of Nina? I don't even know what that even means. Okay. Um, yeah, it's an open dialogue. Yeah. Carlos. Carlos Smith, 34, arrested by CPD, Area 3 North, resisting a police officer in an escape, domestic battery, bodily harm. That was a 2023 arrest. Um, hold on. Now it doesn't still give the disposition. That's what it doesn't give. That's one. That's not the same. This is Carlos again. This is 2022. Unlawful use of a weapon by a felon, using or possessing a firearm, and municipal violation of stopping at a stop sign uh, on a block in Chicago. Bonds, no bond because it was a felony. Got a point. Tiffany, you said I'm an attorney. I absolutely love that you're doing this. Our community needs to be educated on the law. You're doing the Lord's work. I appreciate you, Tiffany. Thank you very much. Yeah, Liz, I see keys. Yeah, I see keys. Yeah. Um, he's got a point. Yeah, he's got a point. He was previously arrested for unlawful use of a weapon by a felon. So let me run. So for Carlos to have been arrested, why do I have Nina as my profile? Who D? Who are we talking about? We can't be talking about me because I don't have Nina as my pro. What are we talking about? I don't know what that means. We can't be talking about me. Um. So hold on for a minute. I'm just looking up some law here. Y'all give me a minute. I'm sorry. Not me, Amanda. Okay. All right. No, you good, Keys. No, that's why I said I'm all about dialogue, Keys. I'm all about dialogue. You're good. You're totally fine, bro. You're totally fine. You're totally fine. When people say you were over on your you're totally fine. You're totally fine. You're totally fine. Um, so Carlos cannot legally possess a gun. He can't control the gun, can't have access to a gun, or be in constructive possession of a gun under Chapter 720 Felon Compiled Statutes Act 5, Section 24-1.1. The felony would be possession by a felon, not mere. So what would have to happen is the police or the prosecution would need evidence that Carlos, number one, actually had possession of the firearm. He had the gun in hand or in his waist bag or in a bag that he controlled or had constructive possession. Now, I have arrested people for constructive possession. Right. We all know we all know that y'all, the address is about to be released. We're going to send it to the detective. I don't know what that means. Okay. Here we go. Had constructive possession, meaning he had access, ability to immediately control, knowledge of the location, and intent to exercise control. Constructive possession requires knowledge. It also requires control or the ability to control. So simply being near is not enough. Under 720 ILCS 5, section 24-1. So Ali has the gun. But see, here's the problem. Ali doesn't have the gun on her hip. The gun is ooh. No, 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 no. Holly was transported with the baby. Hold on. Hold on. Hang tight. Holly was transported with the baby in his black Mercedes to her car. Holly gets out of her car with the baby and puts the baby in the car. Witness three says he sees Holly go in passenger seat, or she sees Holly go in the car, passenger side, to get the firearm. There is no one or anyone who has provided an offer of proof to say that whatever type of bag she might have had in Carlos's car was transferred from Carlos's car to her car. She went in her car. There isn't an offer of proof to say that Carlos was in her car. The firearm could have been in her car the entire time. The firearm could have been in her car the entire time. There isn't an offer of proof that says that's not true. That's not true. You said nobody leaving a firearm in the car overnight. That's not true. I I accidentally did it last night. The second place where I work, I can't carry a firearm in there. And then after that, I had class. So as soon as I got home, I came right in the house, was online for 3 hours for my class. I'm a forever college student, so I'm gonna always be in college. And I went to sleep right afterward. Now I got other firearms, but I left my yeah, that happens. But you're missing the point, Keys. You're missing the point. You're missing the point. That's all I'm saying. But she might though. Come on. I'm not trying we're not gonna fight. We are not gonna and I will not let anybody bait me into raising my voice or saying some things. I'm not saying it was not on her. I'm not saying it was. What I'm saying is I need an offer of proof. I need an offer of proof. That's all I'm saying. What is the offer of proof? An eyewitness said she went to her car and got her gun to charge Carlos, right? Let's war game that, right? Let's war game that. Let's war game that. I would need an offer of proof to be able to say that Carlos was in her car. Witness three said she saw her walk back to her car, the passenger side, go in, retrieve a firearm. There is no offer of proof that said Carlos was in that car. Carlos transported Holly southbound on State Street to Cermak and then got her and the baby out. There is no offer of proof to say that he grabbed one bag, two bag, baby bag, blue bag from his car containing the gun to her car. We need offer of proof. That's all that I'm saying. Need an offer of that's all I'm saying. How many of y'all understand what I'm saying? She might and she tab reader, you not wrong. You not wrong. She might have had it in a diaper bag, but there's no offer of proof to state that the diaper bag was in his car. Does that make sense? That's all that I'm saying. That's all that I'm that's all that I'm saying. Gotta have an offer of proof. Marnika, I want to read your comment. I'm gonna read your comment. I'm gonna go back. Upper echelon. I actually do understand where you're coming from. You're basically saying that if it's possible that the weapon was in the car, it's not in the car with the weapon, reasonable doubt. And a conviction must have proof beyond reasonable doubt. I agree with that. Although I do think that Carlos can be charged with something. The state's own proper says Carlos drove Holly and the baby in his Mercedes to 20 West Thurman. They got out and moved the baby into her Chevy. Later, witness 3 says she saw Holly walk to the passenger side of her Chevy, go in and come out with a firearm in her hand. There is no statement or offer of proof. The matter asserted that Carlos ever entered Holly's car, ever handled the gun, or ever moved a bag or container with the gun from his car to her car. Now, here's what would have been interesting. Here's what would have been interesting. If they were to obtain video surveillance of the place where he lives. If Holly had the gun on her person and she was moving it around on her side next to Carlos, who was opening the door to his apartment while having an Obama tea in his right hand. That's constructive possession. Maybe. How do we know she's not shifting a phone case? You said she is not going to walk without that gun, knowing she sent all those threats and bullying Romeca on Facebook. Holly is a coward. I don't disagree with you entirely. I know there's a lot of people who don't carry fire. There's a lot of people that can still carry license, but don't carry firearms. That's all that I'm saying. They could say he had constructive possession of the firearm because he knew it was present and had the ability to secure it. Well, he did say she has a gun. I'm sorry, I didn't see your comment, upper echelon. Let me read that now. I asked this a couple of times. You probably didn't see my comment, but it is factual that witnesses heard Carlos saying that she was armed with a gun. Carlos even verbalized to Romeca that Holly was going to get her weapon. If he has verbalized that she's going to get her weapon, continues to restrain her, excuse me, knowing that it's a possibility that she may be charged, it's a well, let's talk about that. So I'm gonna read that again so that I can get a full understanding of it. I've asked this a couple of times and you probably didn't see my comment, but it is factual. That witnesses heard Carlos saying that she was on her way to get a weapon. Carlos even verbalized to Romeca that Holly was going to get if he has verbalized she is going to go get her weapon and he continues to restrain her, knowing that it is a possibility that she may be shot. I do believe that that is a charge. Is it? What do you think? What do you all think? Do you think that's a charge? I doubt it. I doubt it. And I'm running through my mind. Hey, Malish, what's going on? I'm going through my mind to think If it's a charge, I don't see it. I don't see it. Okay, so if it's a charge, what would it be under Illinois law? What do you think it would be under Illinois law? If you think it's a charge, what do you think it would be under Illinois law? Right. So you would need Carlos saying she's going to get her weapon does not prove that he aided her. I agree. He's the star witness. That's the main point. Throughout the entire bond proffer, he's witness number one. No one takes that into consideration. Witness number one. They need him. They need him to testify. Oh God, what am I to do this? Give me 1 minute, guys. I gotta do some housekeeping. I do some housekeeping, you all. As a CCL instructor, what would you suggest? I got you. Give me 1 minute. I gotta do some house cleaning. I'm sorry, I had to do some house cleaning. Give me 1 minute. Yeah, there we go. All right, there we go. Give me 1 minute. I'll tell you what the house cleaning was in a minute. Hold on, keys. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so Chris on T just got blocked. I don't have time. I wanted y'all to stay focused. I have time for everybody to be distracted on stuff. So here we go. I got you, keys. We're still here. Here we go. So Carlos saying she's going to get a weapon does not prove that he ate her. Under Illinois law, to charge Carlos as an accomplice, the state needs to prove some things. One, he intended to help Holly commit the shooting. An act. He did something actually to help her do it. And the Illinois accountability statute is very specific. So prosecutors would have to prove he solicited, aided, abetted, agreed, or attempted to aid Holly with the intention that the crime be just yelling she's going to get a gun doesn't really show he wanted to shoot her. He wanted her to shoot her. He encouraged the shooting or that he helped the shooting. In fact, the opposite can actually be argued, right? Now you said possibly, but he has to release. No, the phrase actually cuts against the very idea that he intended the shooting because Carlos was planning an attack. Why would he put her into the car where she had the opportunity to drive away? Remember, the witnesses see him slamming the car door on her to get her to get inside, and then she gets inside. Holly had not gotten the gun yet. I'm just talking about what's on the proper. Had not gotten the gun yet. She could have driven away. So that very fact that he forced her to get into the car defeats that argument. That's intervention, not an accomplice liability. Right. He restrained her knowing Holly was getting a gun is not automatically a crime. Now, you're thinking about it from a value based judgment perspective. Morally, the law looks at intent, value judgment. To hold Carlos liable, the state must show he restrained her for the purpose of helping Holly kill her. But the bond proffer shows actually the opposite. He restrained her because she reengaged. He forced her into the car to stop the conflict. He restrained her a second time because she came at Holly again. That is not the mental state of someone assisting in a murder. What's up, Charlie boy? Now, here we go. Let's introduce some case law. People versus Fernandez. People versus Perez. People versus I. Here we go. People versus Fernandez. People versus Perez. And people versus Ivy. Repeatedly hold. A defendant cannot be held accountable merely because he was present or because the crime was foreseeable. The state must prove intent to aid. So what I'm not getting, which I still am getting, you all keep saying a charge, but I'm giving you case law. A defendant cannot be held accountable merely because he was present or because the crime was foreseeable. The state must prove intent to. Now, Kira, you said, yes, these are laws, but what about the facts? Well, Kira, we all haven't seen video. That's why I said if somebody had a keys, you're here, right? Have you seen video? Have you seen video? Right, David. The laws are the facts, right? So Keys says constructive possession. If you force somebody somewhere they don't want to go, that's kidnapping. We talked about that earlier, Keys. Put assault on his tab, and witnesses saw him move the body. So that's tampering with the currency. I don't know. That's a stretch. That's a stretch. Could be life intervention, life saving intervention. Do you have video of what took place on that day? You're not wrong, Denise. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Denise. Denise says something. She says, please look up how many times prosecutors file. And by the way, Denise, I love that you advocate for your husband. I've seen one of your posts. I seen one of your posts. I love that you advocate for your husband. High five to you. I love that. Good job. Okay, I just want to tell you, give you a shout out. Denise Williams, please look up how many times prosecutors file charges based off public pressure to get the blame off of them. I can tell you that if the state case is based off of what they read in court, they are about to take a loss. But if one knows, tell me it's lost for the courtroom, but to gain politically, if you know, you know. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah, especially if it's a red ball case. If it's a red ball, it's a heaters, political pressure, they will they will charge just to say we did something. They will charge just to say we did something. And put it in the hands of the jury. The jury acquits. Then they say, "Hey, we did our, we did our." Now you said, has this case gone before the grand jury? It was said that the case was going before the grand jury. We gotta go to bed, y'all. I'm tired. Keys, why you come in late? I'm tired of shit. What time is it? 10 o'clock. I go to bed. I'm tired. Yeah, I want to see some more. We gotta have this conversation tomorrow, y'all. Y'all want to have this now? I will tell you this: December 23rd is supposed to be the preliminary hearing, right? I want to find out what courtroom it's assigned to, so I can find out if it's going to be superseded by grand jury indictment. We gotta go to bed, y'all. How many of y'all ready to go to bed? So Mika done got off already. People done logged off already. I catch Mike in the mountain. Keys, you gonna come back tomorrow? I'll come back tomorrow and go live. I'm not doing Wednesday night. I ain't no shit. I'll come back tomorrow and go live. Carlos is a case witness. Yeah. What time? Y'all want to do 7 tomorrow? Oh, I got a shoot night. We're supposed to be going to. No, I don't know. I don't know. It might be courtroom 700. I can't do see, that's the problem. You still here, Tamika? Oh, Tamika, like, I'm supposed to be here. I got a shoot night. I got a shoot tomorrow. I go to the range and I shoot. They ain't gonna put me. See, he not in custody. Yeah, he probably did change his clothes. He wasn't a suspect at the time, so there would be no reason why he wouldn't change his clothes. Just imagine going to pick your son up with your mama's. You see what I'm saying? The child is, especially at that age, extremely curious. That's me should ride my own way. Good night. Yeah, I know 700 is a bigger courtroom. Oh, it's gonna get assigned to a bigger courtroom. 700 is Judge Dominica Stevenson's courtroom. I don't know. Yeah, you're probably right, David. I ain't gonna dispute it. You're probably right. You're probably right. You think, hey, David, you think Carlos gonna be there? Carlos was brave as hell. Boy, it was like, oh, Carlos was in the row. Didn't happen. That didn't happen. I was like, boy, I thought it was gonna whoop his ass outside the county. I'm trying to figure out justice for all children because I got a shoot night. Like after I get off work, I gotta go right over there and gotta shoot. So by the time I'm done, it's 9 o'clock. By the time I get home, it's 10. It's 10 o'clock. Y'all gonna be asleep. Otherwise, I'm gonna go live in the afternoon because I want to talk about this. I appreciate all y'all. I love y'all for real. I'm serious. And some of you are like, you don't know me to love me. There's 7 types of love in the Greek. 7 types of love in the Greek. I'm talking about philia love, which is just general brotherly love. I love you. We conducted ourselves accordingly tonight. I love it. There was a little bit of argument, but it was manageable. Love y'all. Thank y'all for holding me accountable. Not seeing, man, this was a very mature conversation. I really hope we get something out of it. Keith, back. Keith was talking about my ass on this pro. I didn't see what you said. Probably talking about me, probably called me fat and all kind of shit. I'm just playing. I don't know. I don't even be trying to watch. You said you got meetings with your catch replay. Okay. He said we will be there. They so foul. I hate that my husband is a real man. He's our trap. You know what, Jay? I'll sit there and say this. That's why I'm trying the best that I can, right? I'm trying the best that I can to get as many people in my parenting classes and anger management classes, marriage education, family consumer sciences, early childhood classes, because family really matters. And what you do to your boys, that's the future product that you put out there to the streets, to the market. So that's why I choose that stuff. That's it. So, all right, y'all, let's get off this live. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's get off this live, y'all. Let's go to sleep. We've been on here for 3 hours. 3 hours. You said she never moved. I don't think that baby was in the car. Fair enough. I mean, the baby was there, but all right. Now, if the baby was crying, she didn't hear it because we don't know if the door was closed, but yeah. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Have a good night. We out of here. We'll get my theme song. I ain't got one. I don't care what she watch. I'm just letting the people know. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hey, Shell, Shell. We've been doing great, Shell. Shelly, we've been doing great, not cussing each other out. Yeah, I'm gonna get some rest. We've been doing great, not cussing each other out. Let's stay. Can we stay proper? Can we stay proper? You got a right to feel how you feel. You got a right to your expression, but can we stay proper? Let's stay. Let's exercise. Amanda, people in the comments. Y'all, let's go to sleep. Bye. Get off this screen.